Hey, everybody, this is Scott Andrews, the founder of Arrive Business Solutions. And I want to talk to you about Cold to Gold. Actually, Cold to Gold is a program that I've created that is brand new. Although I've used the name Cold to Gold before, much of the material is completely brand spanking new, right for the 21st century, the 20-something decade. Going back. When I first put this material together, it was for a mentorship program I had when I was selling high technology sales, and that goes all the way back to 1998. So I first put together the curriculum, the basic format of Cold to Gold, and since then I've been stacking other modules onto it and revising the original material to make it better. I relaunched it in 2000 and I believe it was 2007, 2008 timeframe. And then I relaunched again another version of it in 2011. But it's been 12 years. And in 12 years, I've done a lot of marketing and a lot of sales. And you're going to absolutely love the new material that I've got put together for you. Okay, so what is it? Well, Cold to Gold is an extensive program that can basically, if you're new to sales, it will make you a veteran. Okay. If you're a veteran, it will be brush up in some areas and some new ideas. And what I've always said when I took sales training as a veteran sales rep is if somebody has one or two or three golden nuggets that can move the bar so that I can make one more deal a day or one more deal a week, or even in some cases, one more deal a month, that deal a month could be the difference in getting you from being the middle of the pack to the top of the pack and going to the club. And Summit Club and those sorts of things. For me, it was a big shift. What I had happen was I found that in a company I was in, you had to be there typically about 5 years before you even knew anybody could make business happen. Hardly anybody went to club their first year. Most people, it took them an average of 8 to 9 years before they ever went to club. I went in my third year. And I continued going every year after that. So that was at Decision One, and then going back forward into Data General. I also went to club that year. With EMC, I wasn't there long enough to go to club. And then when I shifted industries and went to a new industry and sold timeshares, I totally sucked for like 6 months. By the way, I don't recommend you put sucked in your pitches, but I'm just saying I sucked. Okay, so for 6 months, completely struggled. I think I was pretty much playing with my pocket change in the parking lot, which was a joke that we used to make for people who couldn't sell. And it was really embarrassing because here I came from being this top Summit Club achiever to literally bottom of the rung. Couldn't sell my way out of a paper bag. It was just pathetic. And so one of the days I had a manager look at me and he goes, "Come on, we're going to go get a beer." And he goes, "Scott, you have all it takes. You have everything. You know everything you need to know." But the challenge is you're talking too much. You need to say less. And so it was a really good lesson for me because in sales, you can talk yourself out of a deal. And I found out that there's actually a buying curve. When you're in a presentation with people, you're in a buying curve. And if you go past that curve, you're out. You also, if you go past any door though and rush and don't close the door as you're going, imagine a hallway with doors. If you're going down that hallway and you don't close every door, they're going to sneak out one of those side doors and you're not going to know where it happened. Now, the same thing can happen online. You could have a funnel and not know where people are, dropping out. But if you find out that they're watching your video and they drop out at 2 minutes, what did you say at 2 minutes? If they're dropping out at 6 minutes, what did you say at 6 minutes? If they're signing up at 5 minutes and you get them right then, what did you say right then to get them on board? So those are the things that I'm going through in Cold to Gold. It's both prospecting and how do you attract people to you? So these are things that I want to get you familiar with. I'm going to be dropping a number of things. Now, the way I'm going to do the training, you're going to love this. I'm going to have extensive, longer modules that are going to take you through, for example, setting up your territory and your accounts, setting up what's the mental state, what is the mind shift that you have to be successful in sales. A lot of people don't understand that, and they just sound real salesy, and that's the last thing in the world you want to do, right? And so you don't want to have a thing called commission breath where you're just like, I need to make money, I need to make money. And so then you talk and say things that make you sound really cheesy and salesy. Those are things that I don't want you to do. In Cold to Gold, it's not about that. And you might be a telemarketer or your sales is to get an appointment. And if you're on the phone, then what are you saying on the phone to get that appointment? I can't tell you how many people I've called. They fumble around. They don't use my name right off the bat. Or if they do, they say it, they pronounce it incorrectly for some strange reason. I don't know how David Andrews or Scott Andrews is so hard to say, but many people mess that up. And then another thing that they'll do is once they have you, yeah, this is him, right? They'll say something like, "How are you today?" And I don't know about you, but if I'm calling for a sales purpose, I'm not calling to find out how that person's doing that day. That's not why I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone to tell them about a solution I've got, to find out if they've got problems that would need my solution, and to help set up the appointment or direct them to the page or direct them to whatever it is that's going to get them the next step, that's going to get the meeting. When I did high tech sales, it was always about getting the meeting. And then once I had the face-to-face meeting, it was about explaining what my company does in some small detail, and then asking them a series of very specific questions to be able to understand what their problem was, who all that impacted, and how we could make them basically be able to make more money, save more money, cut costs, and save embarrassment of their systems going down or whatever it was, things like that. In vacations, it's a whole other story. There, it's spending time with people you love, doing things that you enjoy in places that are beautiful, right? It's not really that complicated. So it was really funny. I had a fellow sales rep who said, I said, "What are you doing?" We're like drawing circles on a piece of paper. I said, "Does that mean anything to them?" She goes, "Well, yes, because what I'm saying is, I find out what they love the most. And then when I'm drawing circles, I'm talking about they're going to have more of that." So that's a couple of just little tidbits. Now, when you get into Cold to Gold, I have a thing called Golden Nuggets. So I'm going to be dropping things in the Facebook group right now, which is free to join. But eventually it's not going to be free to join, and it's going to be a costly membership to be part of. The reason is because this knowledge is very valuable, and I'm continuing to drop more nuggets in there every day. So as this is new, you're going to start to see information populate in the training room and on the Facebook group. So I'm going to have both of those. Initially, it would just be the Facebook group, then the training modules will be dropping. Now, I'm going to have a mini course I'm going to launch first. That's just going to take you through some of the basics, but it'll give you probably somewhere around, I'm kind of debating on how many I'm going to do. I'm thinking somewhere between 3 and 7, probably 5. All right. I'll probably do 5, a 5-point thing. I used to talk about, I remember in church, my pastor used to talk about how many points a sermon could have. Well, in training, it's the same kind of thing. So I will have probably 5 main points that I'm going to have in that mini course, and you'll get a chance to experience my training style. And if you dig it, then sign up for the program. I mean, if budget's an issue, then we'll talk about that. But I'll have this to say about budget as an issue. It shouldn't be. You're here because you know you need help, and you want to make sales. And whatever it costs to help get the knowledge to be able to do that, if I was in your shoes, I would pay that money and get myself there and make sure I could get there, whether it's through me or through someone else. Okay. But budget really shouldn't be the issue. If it is, I'll have some solutions for you. You can always borrow money, but I would rather see you side hustle money to be able to pay for the workshop or the training program than go into debt. Okay, I'm not a big fan of going into debt. If you can avoid that, avoid it. Okay, but it's your choice, it's your business, it's your life. You can do whatever you need to do, right? So, anyways, my goal is to make sure that what you get from me you're going to make more in sales from it, more than pays for the program, and that you'll say, "Wow, I'm selling so much more than I did before because of what Scott taught me in Cold to Gold." Does that make sense? So the mini course is going to be to give you a flavor so you know how I train. And then from there, you'll get access to the program. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be a 3-month program. And in that program, I'm going to impart, like through a Vulcan mind meld, through the course training and through the daily nuggets that I'm going to drop. I'm going to be sharing that with you. So it's going to be real exciting. So welcome to the group here at Facebook. And this is just my intro to you. I wanted you to get a chance to know a little bit about me and to know a bit about what Cold to Gold is all about. This initial training and the group right now is focused on prospecting. So it's focused on the things that we do: phone calls, sending emails, sending out a direct message or an IM, an instant message, sending a text message, or could even be going door to door, things like that. Okay. Door-to-door is not always the highest usage of your time, but it can be very powerful done the right way. So there are some situations where we'll talk about each of those. Now, the other thing about prospecting, and for me, what I want to do with Cold to Gold is make sure that you have the ability to attract more high-value clients into your pipeline. Does that make sense? I want high-value clients in your pipeline, not tire kickers, not Seymours, people that need to see more information before they can make a decision, not people who are just putting you on a column to see if they can stack up 4 companies. No, it's going to be about you get the winning bid. You are the winning company. You're the winning solution. You are the one that they want to do business with. Why? Because they know, like, and trust you. And also you went through a series of things that got you closer to where you need to be to get the deal. So it's all about that. So prospecting to me is to get the door open, to get the meeting, and hopefully to end up getting the sell. Closing is the other part of that. So we're focused on prospecting for this, but I can drive your sales up simply by driving up your prospecting success. So it's not just the outbound activities that I call push, but it's also the pull activities. So that could be things like speaking, like I'm doing right now. It could be a video blog, recording videos. It could be doing video-based training like this is. It could be, let's see, other things people do, writing blog articles. That can be a way. Writing a white paper could be another way to do what I would call attraction marketing, okay? Content marketing, it's very important. So those are all things that draw people to you. Sending someone a postcard, that's direct mail, but in a sense, that's sort of a form of, that's not really prospecting, right? You're waiting for the person to call back. So then when they call you, what do you say when you're on the phone when they call you back? If you miss them, what happens? How do you handle those situations? So those are all things we're going to be talking about in Cold to Gold. So welcome here. Feel free to pop some questions in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer those for you. While we're going through the training, there will be specific periods of times where I'll be doing Q&A, and I'll be sharing that with you. In the meantime, feel free to go ahead and post some questions you may have about the program and what it's going to be all about. And my goal right now is to grow the group. So I would encourage you to refer your friends, refer people that you know that need help to get appointments. Obviously, it's about getting more leads and appointments. That's what it's, and also closing the lead so that it converts into an appointment or it could be a phone call that you do to get a high ticket sale, or it could be a meeting like I used to do in the high tech sales. So there's a number of things that you're doing. I'm focusing Cold to Gold right now on people that are typically selling business to business. I'll be doing business to consumer more on a future version, but this first version is more business to business. So we'll be focusing on in that way. So welcome here, and hope you're having a great day. Good luck with your selling. Good selling is I had a boss out of college. He used to say, good selling. All right, so good selling.